in total, how much money did you give him?
That time was $700 for his ticket.
Okay. Now, what kind of ticket did you get, Mr. Cortez?
It was a speeding ticket that...
How long ago, before you were in
It
prison?
was 2007 when I got that speeding ticket, but being incarcerated for as long as I was.
Got it. Okay. Now, is it true that Ms. Carlson paid the ticket and fine of $700 for you?
No, Your Honor.
How much did she pay?
I recall that she only paid me, she offered to pay it because she knew I wanted to go.
I didn't ask you.
Hey, wait, what do you mean?
I didn't ask you anything other than a number.
You don't need to get all rowdy with me.
Just a second.
Just calm down.
Don't tell me how to do my job.
And don't talk to me like that.
I don't tell you how to do your job for which you spent the last 10 years in prison. Don't tell me how to do my job.
That's it. That's all I'm asking is for some respect.
All I asked you was for a number.
500.
Great. So she gave you $500 towards a ticket and a fine.
Your Honor.
So you have proof of 7?
I had 500 on me. I have proof that I withdrew 200 more at the ATM next door.
Okay. Now, getting a ticket and a fine for speeding is something that you did. The fine is a fine that was a punishment for speeding. Somebody else can't pay that for you because that would be like having somebody else do jail time for you. We don't do that here. We don't say, well, if you're a poor person, then, you know, we'll pay you $5,000. I've got 18 months that I have to serve. You go serve my time for me. That was your punishment. The ticket and fine are your punishment. So if you have proof of $500, he says it was $500, that's what it is. And that was before you were living together.
Yes.
Okay. Now, are you and your 2 children still living in the apartment?
We are.
Okay. And do you intend to stay there?
I have to. I don't have the money to move.
Very good. So you're going to stay there. And you don't want him to live with you?
No.
Okay. So forget about rent and forget about breaking a lease. You're still living there.
I wouldn't go there
Now,
anyways.
I'm speaking. Now, let's talk about the assault that you say was in April of 2016. Okay. First, I'd like to take a look at the medical record that you have.
Here's this. The pictures are with the court paperwork, but it's what the hospital took.
Thank you. Okay, I'd like you to tell me your version of what happened on April 16th.
Mr. Cortez had been coming home whenever he wanted to, leave all hours of the night to go be with his friends whenever they called. So he was rarely home, and he wouldn't answer phone calls or anything. So we got into a fight when he came home, and I took
What time?
It was early evening.
Okay.
I'm not exactly sure.
Okay, so you were mad.
I was mad.
Okay, got it. You were mad.
And I started to take all his stuff out of the room and throw it out into the hallway, and I told him that I would pack it for him, that he obviously didn't want to be there.
Okay, so you took his stuff. You were very angry. You threw his stuff out in the hallway.
Yes.
And?
So I went into the bathroom to grab a couple more things when he followed me, and he stood in the doorway of the bathroom. I asked him to move. He wanted to talk it out. I tried to squeeze past him.
How did you try to squeeze past him?
There was a gap between his body and the door frame, and so I tried to go under his arm and out the bathroom. And before I even knew it, both of his hands hit my chest, knocked me off my feet. I fell 3 feet backwards into the corner of the wall, slamming my head. This fight was actually, the assault happened at 1 in the morning.
Just a second. Let's go back. He came home in the early evening. You had a verbal argument.
Correct.
And during that verbal argument, was that when you threw his stuff out in the hall?
That's when I started doing it, yes.
Did he leave?
He took off for a couple hours.
Smart. And then?
He came back.
What time?
It was around midnight.
When you came back at midnight, sir, where were all your clothes?
Everywhere. They were inside, outside. They were just everywhere.
Your Honor, there was nothing outside. It was all in the hallway of my apartment in front of our other bathroom. Nothing was outside.
And so he came home at midnight and?
We still fought. He was mad that his things were out there. He was mad that I was telling him that he needed to leave. We started yelling at each other, and that's when he followed me to the bathroom. I tried to squeeze past him. That's when his hands hit my chest.
What do you mean his hands took your chest? What does that mean?
I must have blinked because I didn't even see him coming at me. And the next thing I know, both of his hands.
And he pushed you, is what you're telling me?
Yeah, he pushed me.
What you're telling me is he pushed you.
Yes.
And you fell backwards.
3 feet and hit my
Just
my
a second.
head. Yes.
He pushed you.
Yes.
You fell backwards and hit your head.
Yes.
That's the assault that we're talking about.
Yes.